So I'm gonna show you how to create patterns, give them depth, and transform transform them onto a shape that you created. Let's say a mug, a vase, whatsoever. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna start creating our shape. We're gonna go to polyline, draw a random line. Doesn't You can specify your own measurements. I'm not gonna do any measurements right now. And then we're gonna create a curve to basically give our object shape basically. So I'm just gonna draw like a tall glass. We're gonna go to perspective and flip it 90 degrees. Maybe drag it a little bit up because it's underneath the grid line. Okay. And now we're gonna select our curve and then click revolve. We're gonna click here and then drag it up. The reason why I'm on front view because I want the axis line to be perpendicular. And then after that, you can click full circle and then you're gonna end up with your shape. Okay, so now we're going to start the process of making our patterns. First, we're going to type in create UV curve and then select our shape, press enter. You're gonna end up with this surface. I'm just gonna move it next to the grid line for reference purposes. Okay, the purpose of this surface is basically you're going to create your line within the rectangle, and then that's going to help us transform the pattern onto the shape. So I'm gonna draw some reference lines. Okay. You can use the polygon, you can create your own pattern. I'm just gonna use some triangles. I can change the number of sides from here. So I'm gonna click on the midpoint and like that. Delete the reference line. After that, we're gonna go to perspective. We're gonna draw a small arc. So it would help us give the the shape some depth. So you're gonna click on this one, the 3-point arc. We're gonna choose our midpoints and then go to front view. You can see the small arc. I'm just gonna press shift and create it, as you can see here. So now all we have to do is basically sweep 2 rails so we can get our shape. But we can't do that because we have one closed curve. So there's a way where you can split it. So we're gonna go to split. We're gonna press point and then choose the midpoint. Then this other point and click enter. So now we have this curve and the other curve. So we're gonna go to sweep to rail. We're gonna select the first rail, the second one, then we're gonna go to point. We're gonna click on the middle, then select our cross section, then go to point again, select the other point, and now we get the depth for the shape basically. We press OK. Here it goes. So after that, I'm gonna go back to top view. I want to fill this entire surface with my patterns, but I don't want to copy paste it. So the way to do it is select the shape and then go to linear array. I'm gonna choose 7 items. It depends on the surface. And then reference point. Maybe 6 items. Select the reference point and then that's it. So now I'm going to group them. Maybe move it a little bit to the side. I'm gonna copy paste because I want to fill the entire surface with my shape. I'm gonna play around with it like that, and maybe move it to the side to have something like this. I'm gonna mirror it so I don't have to go through the whole copy paste thing again. And I'm just gonna move it up a bit, maybe flip it 180 degrees, maybe move this one a little bit up. You can play around with your shapes until you're satisfied. I'm just gonna select them all and move them a bit down. Okay. And let's say this is my thing. I realized that I kind of need few more shapes here. So when we're putting it on the vase or the cup or the mug, we don't have an awkward empty space. So what I'm gonna do is just ungroup, select the poly surface, linear array, maybe one item I think will be enough. Let's just say 2 for now, and then click that for the reference point, just like this. And we're gonna do the same thing for this one. Ungroup, and then select the poly surface, linear array, 2 items. Here we go. So now we're done with the thing. We're gonna go to perspective view to check everything. What we're gonna do now is select the curve and go to surface from planar curves. Okay. And now what we're gonna do is basically engrave them somehow. I'm really bad at explaining, so I'm just gonna show you. We're gonna go to we're gonna choose a surface, go to Boolean difference, and then select the rest. Hit enter, and now we have our shape. It's like a small ice tray. So we're gonna go back to top view. We need to trim them off a little bit on the side. So we're gonna select the curve and then type trim and just delete the axis. Okay, and then enter. After we're done with that, we're gonna select the curve again and give it another surface. So surface from planar curves. And then what we're gonna do is go to perspective, select the poly surface, go to transform, flow along surface, and then select the curve. Okay, and then select your shape that you want your pattern to be projected on. Usually when it does something like this, all I do is undo, select my pattern, and then just flip it 90 degrees. So I'm just like playing around with it. Again, I'll select the poly surface, transform, flow along surface, select the other curve, and then my shape. So I'm going to end up with something like this, and I'm pretty happy with it. It kind of looks cool. It's really nice. Remember that we have a surface inside, so we're gonna bring it to the inside because this is the interior of the glass or the cup. Say something like this. If you want, you can delete it. If so, I'm just gonna delete it because I like the shape the way it is, just like that. And we're just gonna close it off, or maybe just leave it open. The way you can close it off is the same thing that we were using for the entire process, which is the surface from planar curves. You click it and you just click your curves that you want to close. It's most probably not going to close now because it's it's an open curve, but I did something similar to it. I was experimenting with it, and I actually made an Arab coffee cup, which I will show you right now. So this is what I did. I created the pattern, same process and everything, and I closed it from the bottom. Whoops. So this was my Arab coffee cup, sorry. It's closed from the inside, it's closed from the outside. So when you end up with something like this, all you gotta do is select the curve and then go to surface from planar curves. And then once you fix the interior and you close it up as well, all you have to do is go on, so I'm just gonna try it here. Go on, if you want this really nice rim, you go to blend surface, you choose the exterior and then the interior, and you just hit enter, and you're gonna end up with something like this. And that's it.